Today we're at the Ukrainian Cemetery. I thought I'd stop in after picking up my pierogies at the Holy Ghost Ukrainian Orthodox Church in Coatesville. It's a beautiful, well-kept cemetery. Today we're going to go visit some family. And yes, I am out here in a sleeveless dress in December walking around. We have quite a few family members here. So we're going to start with my grandparents. This is Bob and Gigi's. I can see Aunt Ann's been up here. I don't have flowers, so I just always leave some crystals. These are my grandparents, Bob and Gigi. They had two sons. My dad is buried over at St. Malachi, and my Uncle John is buried over at the Penningtonville Presbyterian Church in Akron. So one of Baba's sisters, Catherine, this is Catherine's stone. She married John Ushwak. They had a couple kids, one of whom was John. They also had a son, Stephen. And it was a pretty large family. Not sure who that is. A lot of people up here are family members. Estes by marriage. And that's a stretch for me, but this is Uncle Paul and Aunt Osie. And I don't remember much about Uncle Paul. I met Aunt Osie's sister through Facebook. Never met her in person. But Uncle Paul was Gigi's brother. Mary Sen is Mary Rochak. She married Michael Sen, and she is one of Gigi's sisters. Panko and Bessie Hodoschek are Gigi's parents. And like I said, we have quite a few family members here. We've got some Monkos. There's Uncle Teddy's, Uncle Theodore's stone. Next to him is Teddy. I will at some point have to figure out how to clean up stones, because that should not look like that. Presented by the county commissioner. That's nice. So Teddy fought in Vietnam. Behind them are Mary Rochak's parents, the Chinenkis. And we have a few more family members in here. It's a pretty large cemetery. The church has been around since the beginning of the turn of the century. 1908, I believe it was. Quite a few friends up here. I'm glad to see somebody went through with the flags and put up all the new flags. They tend to fall out and disappear every once in a while. So over here we have Frances, which is my great-grandmother, and Paulie, Baba's brother, and then her father, John. And unfortunately, his picture disappeared years ago, and nobody's bothered to replace it. Like, they know where it is. It's just not replaced yet. So, leave a little stone for each of them. Polly passed... Sorry, I know that looks weird when I'm putting down stones. Polly passed in World War II. He had just come home. He was injured in the war. And got sick in the war and just come home when he died in Valley Forge. Sorry, I'm looking... Oh, there we go. There's one stone here. Panko, my great-grandfather, his uncle was buried here. And his name is Onifer Pamanko. He's one of my mystery people. I don't know much about him. But Onifer and Rosella, isn't that a beautiful name? This is their stone. Onifer came over. I got a little more information from him. He came over early 1900s. This was their second marriage for both of them. And we have lots of other family members, distant family members, cousins, and it's just a beautiful cemetery up here. Across the way on the other side of the houses over there is the Russian Orthodox Cemetery, and that's where Uncle Nick is buried. Uncle Nick is one of Gigi's brothers. Uncle Nick and Chuchi Ann are over there. With one of their daughters and her parents. My great-grandmother Frances, after John passed, Frances married again to Frank Kashuda. And Baba always tells me it was a marriage of convenience, or companionship rather, for the two of them. But yeah, nobody deserves to be lonely. So it was nice. But I know nothing of their relationship or of them. My dad, my uncle never told me anything about them. So it's one of those things that someday I'll find out a little bit more. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed our trip today through the Ukrainian Orthodox Cemetery. Used to be Ukrainian Greek Catholic. So you'll see a couple, I see a Mary statue from here that's held over from the old days. And obviously we have some of the Ukrainian crosses here. And the difference being the Ukrainian cross has the footstool. So the cemetery itself was consecrated in 1959, supposedly. Before that, where were people buried? A lot of them went up the Polish cemetery up the hill on the other side of town. Some of them went to, I have one that's right on the border between the Polish and the Jewish cemetery. He died in, one of Gigi's brothers, he died during the influenza epidemic in 1918. So they're kind of scattered throughout. Some of the family is over at St. Cecilia's, again up on the hill. So this is a pretty big part of Coatesville's history right here, even though we're in Valley Township. The church has never been in Valley. It's always been up in Coatesville. But if you're ever looking for any information on the church or the cemetery, please shout out. Give me a call. Thank you.